Do my head back, beat.
Outlines, men with their shovels hung behind them. And in the pub, then they drank the stuff, for out in the spite you'll find them. They sweated blood, and they washed down mud with pints and quarts of beer. Now we're on the road, and the Outlines music. Stuck to the stand with the darky head, sitting down on the iron tree. And the horse face too, well we know the rule, no money if you stop for rain. The Outlines yard was a well-filled hard, your shoulders cut to bits and sear. And woe to he who went to look for tea with Outlines views and leers. I remember the day that the Pharaoh Shea fell into concrete stairs. What the horseface said when he saw him dead, well, it wasn't what the rich call prayer. Navi short was his one retort that reached unto my ears. When the going gets rough, you must be tough with Outlines views and leers. I've worked till the sweat nearly had me bet with a Russian, Czech, and Pole on shuttering jams up in the hydro dams, underneath the dames in a hole. I grafted hard, and I got me cards, and many a ganger's fist across me ears. And if you pride your life, don't join by Christ with Outlines views and leers. Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yes, down the Glenwood eastern bourne to a city fair rode I. There are lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No fife did hound or back from did sound its dread tattoo, but the Andrews fell over lifting swell, rang out through the foggy dew. Right proudly high over Dublin town, they hung out the proud war. 'Twas better to die 'neath an Irish sky than in silver soldier war. Yet from the flames of royal beat strong Britannia's hunts with their long-range guns sailed in through the fog. 'Twas Britannia's made our wild geese that small nations might free. But their lonely graves are by souls waves of shore of the raging sea. Had they died by Pierce's side or fought with Cowbrook, their names we will keep where the Fenians sleep beneath the shroud of the fog. But the bravest fell and the requiem rang only and clear. But those who died that Easter tide in the spring of the year, world that gaze indeed amazed at those fearless men, but few who bore the fight that freedom's body shine through the back through the glen I rode again, my heart filled with grief, for I parted then with valiant men whom I never shall see more. To and fro in my dreams I go, and I kneel and pray for you, for slavery fled. Whoa, glorious dead, when you fell in the froggy
Well, no, I threw it. Thank you.
Shakespeare and Gosling and cakes with white frosting, 2 names and a heart-shaped tattoo. I think Cupid is stupid and violets are purple, not blue. I hate catching bouquets, the honeymoon phase, and letterman jackets don't fit, and your eyes can't hold stars, and you die in your heart really skip. Songs. Yeah, I really do. I hate love songs, but I love you. I hate pink cards with glitter and Valentine's dinner and roses just die in a week. We were drunk when we met, so we don't know our anniversary. Whoops. And I'm far too vain to kiss in the rain. The clouds, they are numbered tonight, and you make me feel something, but a sure as hell ain't butterflies, no. I hate love songs, yeah, I really do. I hate love songs, but I love you. Better don't write. They say I got the right one, so now I should write one, but I'd rather just show you tonight. I hate love songs, yeah, I really do. I hate love songs, but I love you. Songs, the old and the new. I hate love songs, but I love you. out in the barroom. Liquor was the only love I've known. Oh, but you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. I've looked for love in all the same old places. I found the bottom of the bottle's always dry. When you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there ain't nothing like your love to get me high. Yeah, you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time.
Care to go see. The one that you love is the one that's there for you. But there's duality in that, because even they tell you to keep your enemies close, your friends close, but your enemies closer. That's the duality in that. You go down the road and someone says hi to you, there's duality in that. Do they mean hi, like how are you doing? Like we care about your day. Do they mean hi, how are you doing? Like please just keep walking, I don't really want to talk to you. Do they mean hey, hi, how are you doing? As in they want to really know your name. They really want to know your story. But then even then there's duality in that. Because do they want to know your story because they want to know you? Do they want to know your story because of what they feel that you could give to them? Who knows? You know, there's duality in waking up in the day. You wake up in the morning, do you go back to bed? Or do you get up and do what you have to do? If you're me, you go to bed, you know? That's what I do. But even then, there's duality in that. Because if you don't go to bed, if you don't wake up, you choose to go back to bed. But there's duality in that. Because if you choose to go back to bed, you don't get up and do what you have to do, then what you miss out on? You possibly missed out on everything. But then there's duality in that. Because what if you missed out on nothing? What if what you missed out on was actually a downfall? Because you know what they say? They say don't take every opportunity that comes present to you. But then there's duality in that. Because if you don't take that opportunity, you just close the door. Do you want to close the door before walking into it? But then there's duality in that. Because if you close the door before you walk into it, then you're hoping, you're betting that there's another door that'll open right next to it. Do you see the duality? There's duality in everything. In this storm that's coming right now, it could rain, it could pour, it could just be lightning a little bit and then go on and leave us alone. The wind's blowing, but there's duality in that. See, that's the beautiful beautiful thing about life. Everyone looks at things like it's black and white. You are either this or this because it's black and white. People look at me and they say, you're black and white. They look at my friends, they'll say, you're black or you're white. But really, there's duality in it. Because the way I look at it is that people see you in their own perspective. No one can see you in the way that you see things. No one can see you in the way you see you. So there's two perspectives there. There's yours and theirs. They say perspective is all. They say beauty is all in the eye of the beholder. But there's duality in that. Because what they see as beauty could not be so to you. But you know what they say? My favorite poet, Shakespeare, not poet, a writer. Sorry, my favorite writer, Shakespeare. A rose by any name smells just as sweet. But can you see the duality in that? Now, it may sound like I'm speaking a bunch of nonsense, but if you really think about it and look into your own life, you'll see that maybe there's some black and white problems caused, where if you see the duality of it, you'll see the negative and the positive. Maybe if you go out and you see someone and offer them a hand, think about it. What's the duality of that? Sorry.
I'm looking like Einstein now without the intelligence. Hair's looking ridiculous. Okay, so these jokes I did not write, so please don't sue me for copyright. I mean, if you're whatever. But I'm just gonna try to make them work. So with all that crazy stuff you guys been hearing about in the news, you hear about that kidnapping in the park? His parents woke him up.
Oh. Because the kid was napping.
Why is it so windy in a sports arena? Wow. All those fans, man.
You crazy, boy.
What happens when an egg gets too angry?
Cracks.
He boils. Go back, baby. What kind of witch likes to be eaten? You guys get that.
Oh.
I spent all night on that. I spent 2 weeks of material ruined. God, preparing a sandwich. If you were driving your car and saw a spaceman, what would you do? You park, man.
Oh, hold on. Spaceman. Parkman.
You saw a space man.
I'm so
I gotta do more of these, man. Alright, now still up here, bro. Come on. Alright. What do porcupines say when they're making out?
Ouch.
Ooh, ah, ouch, ah. Yeah, probably sounds like having sex too, but. When is a baseball player like a spider? When he catches a fly. Where do polar bears keep their money? Come on, this lady right here, she got it. A snowbank.
Oh. Dang.
Man, she's quick tonight. What are 2 things you can't have for breakfast?
Dinner.
Lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
And ice cream if your mom's home. She's looking at the same website I am.
You said there was copyright. You didn't know?
What do you guys call a fake noodle?
A woodle.
An impasta.
You crazy?
What do you call an old snowman?
Melt water.
Melted?
Water.
Yeah, you guys got it. Water.
Oh, yeah.
Water. All right, those are all the jokes I had like pre-read. So aside from that, I would have to be just reading random ones. So that was my comedy skit. Well, that was this thing's comedy skit delivered by Nick. Thank you. One of these days, I'm gonna put in the time and write my own jokes. I work, I sleep, I come to this comedy thing, and I'm just like, when do I have time to write good material? So I just steal good material. All right, thank you guys.
Law school on Monday, so that's great. But then there are some things I won't be able to come here as much on Thursday.
Oh.
So,
We got a lot of videos already.
yeah,
Cool.
it is a lot. So I'm gonna do this piece. Remember the conversation we had about love? How special it was. What it meant to your mother. Do you remember being a boy? No, you do not. Because there are no boys around here. Only men who have not yet been broken. Do you remember 7 years old being asked by your mother to protect her? Do you remember her blood on the front porch? Walking by it every morning before school reminding you of your failures. Do not cry. I'm only asking you for your memories. Do you remember our conversation about love? What it meant to the woman you laid with? How your 20-year-old face looked 13 years younger when you failed to protect your seed. You talk about growth a lot. But do you even know what that means? You've been the same ball of pain for all these years. Does growth not mean change? Does your reflection not show you anything different after all this time? Do not cry, little broken man, boy. I'm only asking you for your memories. If you remember our conversation about love, how could you think it was for you? How could you think it was yours? If it was never yours, how could you give it to someone else? Your own father couldn't even give it to you. I am your life, and I give you pain. You can never wed a woman because you are married to sorrow. It is yours to have and to hold till death do you part, and even death may not be enough to part this union. You tried to run. Boy, the day you were born, trouble was waiting for you at the door. So you can yell to as many audiences as you like, but they will never hear you. You can tell them that you are hurting, and they will clap. You can tell them how damaged you are, and they will call it powerful. And one day, when you are gone, they will cheer. So that's part one, my life talking to me. No, you good. And then this is part two, so me responding to my life. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. I remember our conversation about love. I remember thinking you were right. 7-year-old men should protect their abused mothers. I remember it all. From the blood, to the screams, to the nightmares that kept me up for years to come. I remember blaming myself for not being strong enough, for not being man enough, for being too much elementary school student and not enough 6-foot warrior. These are my memories, trust me. I remember our conversation about love. How my 20-year-old self took blame that only God could take responsibility for. I am not God. The only life a man has power to make grow is his own. You are correct. Growth means change. And when I look into the mirror, I see tomorrow. My yesterdays will never change, so I cannot grow by living there. I remember our conversation about love. And you were wrong. I am no broken man. That 7-year-old was a boy. and I will not shame him for not being more than what he was, just a boy. I lay to rest my old agony and leave sorrow as a widow to die alone. I do not blame my father for not giving me something that cannot be given. Love does not belong to anyone. It is shared by those who first accept it within themselves. So I will yell in front of every audience. They may never hear me, but they will feel what I speak. I will tell them I am hurting, and they will clap because they know that the pain is over. I will tell them how damaged I was, and they will call it powerful because they see that I'm still standing and that I'm still strong. And one day when I am gone, these poems will stand like monuments engraved in their hearts and in their minds, and the world will know that I was here. And despite my life and all of its troubles, I too was able to love. I never make promises I know that I can't keep. Whenever I leave the house, I tell my mother that I love her. She tells me, come back safely. I tell her, I promise. We live in St. Louis, a place where you're more likely to find a peace before you can find peace. I walk out into a place where it's an insult to be called county bound, people dying over colors, whether it's red, blue, or Michael Brown, and any man thinking he's God because he can take a life. And I know a few atheists that can teach you otherwise. Back in college, with St. Louis nowhere in the air, I'm surrounded by people saying things like, Andre, you were there. What do you feel about it? But in all honesty, they don't really care. They just want my validation to confirm things they've already been saying, things like, we should just stop the violence and keep the peace. Right, Andre? No. Life is too precious to leave it in the hands of men who do not value it. I will not piecemeal put my head into the lion's mouth to convince myself that it is wrong for eating me. I am a gladiator in this coliseum called America. My fist are my fist. My sword is my sword. My voice is not my only weapon. I will fight for my baby cousins who will grow up one day and look just like me. Fight for the souls of the strong that never made it to the boat. Fight for the culture that was ripped from our backs, but that has never been behind us. It has always been in us. My arms will fight if they take my arms. Then my legs will stomp on their oppression if they take my legs. Then my voice will curse their name if they take my head. Then my spirit will haunt that land like a gust of wind, carrying the voices of the fallen ones that wounded me. I carry the power of my melanin wherever I go. My mother raised me too strong for me to quiet my soul. So if you hear my voice, just know that freedom follows. They couldn't kill my thoughts even if they ended up at the trunk of a tree somewhere in Sleepy Hollow. Whenever I leave, I tell my mother that I love her. She tells me, come back safely. I tell her, I'll try.
Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Oh, your love has gone. something. If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? Yeah. Love me, won't you?
I'll sing it right there.
If you love me, won't you say something? You may as well. Love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something?
Do a little night,
If you love me, won't
a
you?
little solo something.
Say something. If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you?
Yeah.
I've been seeing angels in my living room. Where I walked the sun and I've slept on the moon. Covered in the fragrance of your own. Telling me the stories coming true. Oh, you see these angels see the light. And I have my troubles alright. I've been seeing angels. Hold on to their secrets and torn up memories. Float above horizons and sail across the seas. I hope for better days and rainy times and tough. The angels give me strength and I'm not giving up. So I wipe away my tears all over my way. Pressing up my shoulders and hold on to this thing. I've been seeing angels.
Hey, you did it though. That's dope.
I think it's over.
Started the revival of the game. I'm bringing it back up from the dead and I'll never leave it the same. Bars that make you reevaluate your content with shame. Realization like a brick when it's something when it hits that you lame. My author made me walk and paint pictures for me to see what's really going on inside us, like who I want to be. Words of wisdom that help me see the curves in the system, and courage to listen and get back to the world what was missing. Wide eyes, big ears, because I can't afford to miss them. Turn my dreams to reality, I got tired of wishing. Maturity, key to enlightenment, I'm trying to pick the lock. Because I'm thinking ahead of my time, got me feeling like, yo. Thinking awareness of environments, that's what my mental health taught. Has petty irrelevant obsessions like big vessels with big rocks. Man, I'm rough, man, I'm tough, man, I'm crazy with the pen. To be honest, I feel like this is the hardest I've ever been. We gently informed should use different powers like about 10. Drop a line so the line to check the word every now and then. I'm not God, but I was created in his image of high power. Craving to make it out. Anything in my way I have to devour. Some of these people way too sour, some of these people way too sweet. And my sauce is way too spicy, none of these people can take the heat. Tell them bring on the whole fleet. They gonna get a doggone Navy. And enough to stop them off from drowning, because it's supposed to wait. Witness a hint of superiority over majority of all of mankind's creation. History put these people out their misery as they all observe magical, mystical wizardry. Nah, but pen in hand just like a wand, and these ladies can't resist. These ladies can't resist. I forgot a little bit.
Got him trying to hop on that.
Flash. What was that? Flash. Live the dream and get some cash. Staying in my lane cause I can't afford a crash. Shut her off like Steve Nash. Man, I'm feeling high, but I ain't off no hash. With some good men, chase the same goals. Got these people that's playing around, play their roles. Got my weight up, you know that I've been getting swole. Give the people what they need to hear and invigorate their soul. On my way to build up my economy. Want to live straight, free of debt, that's why I'm striving for anatomy. And alien, no, I'm not from this world. I've been up there with the stars, don't even study astronomy. It's crazy that some people might not want to see me win, judged by not who I am, but the color of my skin. If you just looked at my personality, do you believe that I could be normal in actuality? Cooler with my white boys, cooler with my brothers, cooler with Hispanics, and we ball like no other. Man, it's bigger than the block, man, it's bigger than the hood. And this presence of evil, along with presence of the good. So let's all spread love, let's all spread hope. I'm gonna kick it to the end I'll stay woke.
Hey! Get woke, stay woke.